and welcome to That's What Speaks. Today is Tuesday, April 4th, and it's episode 194. Oh my gosh, that's almost 200 episodes. That's a lot on my face on the internet. Hi, how are you? I'm Amy Beth, also known as the Fat Squirrel on Ravelry and the Fat SQRRL on Instagram. This week's episode will contain. Contain's fine. It'll have shenanigans and knitting and spinning and shameless self-promotion. It will also have prize drawings at the end of all of that. If you don't know, we're drawing prizes for the first quarter contributors to the podcast. Woohoo! Thank you, financial supporters! Woo! That was everybody thanking you. Did you hear that? Just take a moment. Just soak it in. Soak in the admiration. Soak in the thanks. And there will be 3 drawings. That's a secret prize I'm not even showing you, but trust me, it's good, okay? Well, I think it's good. So it wouldn't be like, surprise! Here's the rock in the mail. My kid would do that, though. She'd be excited about the rock, though. So legitimately, she'd think it was good, too. So that means it would be good. But you know what I mean. It's like yarny, baggy good. And then, also, we will draw... Actually, secretly, I've already drawn these prizes. They're complicated. You have to do forework. There's like Excel CSV files that have to be done. Just saying. It takes a minute. And then I will also draw... for the podcast prize. Yay, that! So if you didn't watch last week and you are interested in finding some more knitting podcasts, because I know that a lot of people, I see lots of Instagram posts and things where people are like, I'm not a podcast. I don't know how that happens. But even if you're not, maybe you're just looking for something new. Maybe one person you love stopped podcasting and you need to fill the void. So there's a thread on the Ravelry group for the Fat Squirrel Speaks. And you can find a thread there. And it'll talk about a bajillion different podcasts. Now, just FYI, I did not go through and specifically check to make sure each entry was unique because it spun really fast and got huge. But I did check that the winner had not mentioned. Actually, I didn't. I just remembered that I just thought I did. But I'll try to do that when we actually do the prize. So let me forget, guys. Okay. So let's get into it, okay? Look how white my hands are and how red my face is. I promise I don't have blood pressure problems. Don't worry about me. I do check it all the time because I'm a fat lady. And the world has taught me that I'm definitely going to die of blood pressure related issues, but so far I'm okay. Anywho, so shenanigans. Oh my gosh. There was like a whole week of no shenanigans in the most awesome way. The shenanigans were like getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning, staying up past 10:30 p.m. What? They were eating out. They were planning meals that only 2 people had to be able to consume and not 3. That's right, it was spring break. So my kiddo went with her mama and papa they're on year-long calendars, so they get 2 weeks for spring break. Don't get too jealous, kids. They gotta go back to school like the 1st of August, and they don't get out till like June 10th or something. They pay for that 2-week vacation, don't worry. Oh, so I had a vacation from Mommery. It was very exciting. Don't judge me. But judge me. I don't care. It's fine. But like having an entire week of that like huge portion of your brain that's consumed with whether your child has bathed semi-recently, whether they have charged their school iPad, whether they are growing up to be a functioning human being. It's a huge part of your brain. And so when you get to like turn that off for a week and just like flip it on for a couple minutes when you talk to them on the phone and then flip it right back off, That is my staycation. Right. I'm into it. I don't need to go to a water park. Just vacation for momming. The best. Do you want to drink at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Well, go ahead. Not that I wouldn't do that anyway, but you know. I don't even have to worry about picking somebody up. Okay. Now that sounds like I'm drinking and picking my child. That's not what I meant. I only get her from school 1 day a week. So that's not. All right, I'm just going to leave it. I don't drink and pick up my kid from school. I would say I don't judge you if you do, but I kind of do. Don't do that. That's not okay. Unless you're walking, that's fine. Then go for it. But anyway, so that was amazing. And so what? Oh, and then so she came back. We had kind of crummy weather for doing fun stuff. It's very rainy and coldish. But we did take a hike. We went to Brown County State Park, which is about an hour south of us. And if you know anything about Indiana's topography, is that the right word? I don't know. Geography, topography. It's kind of both-ish. Anyway, I'm in Indianapolis, which is like straight in the north-south middle of this. Well, it's really basically the middle of the state. And everything slightly south of us and north is like glacial sweep. It's all wicked flat. I mean, like, wicked flat. But if you drive just a little bit south, you get into hills, which makes me feel so much better. Because for one thing, it looks like there's so many more trees because you actually can see them because they're up above your eye level versus like only being able to see the tree that's in front of you. You can see the tree in front of you and all the like 15 other ones that are up the rise. So it makes you feel like the world is full of trees, which is a good thing. Oh, but it also makes just for a more interesting hiking. Now, there's some like uphill and down dale a little bit around, but you know. So anyway, we went there, and it's like I said, it's an hour south. The dog Annie is fine in the car. Olive whines the entire way, like the entire way. And so we get to the park, and you start this trailhead is like listed as behind the lodge. That sounds scary. We're just like maybe this is an elaborate ruse and that's just where you go to get murdered and nobody mentioned it on Yelp because they're all dead. Just saying that could happen. It couldn't, but maybe could have been a trick. Anyway, so we like park in the lodge and then we're just like around the walk around like okay, service entrance. But that's really where it was. And it was actually not as sketchy as I thought it was. Because there's all these like little family cabins that are scattered around. So like other humans are actually walking around. It's not like you're just like back behind the dumpsters, like busting the kids, smoking up on their lunch breaks or whatever. Anyway, so we get to the trailhead and we could like take 11 steps down the trail. And Toph, my daughter, is like, she's 10 going on 13. And daughter is like, oh, drove all that way to do this? What? Yes, daughter, we did. In fact, you had the option of this place or the other place. So you knew the other place was like Shays where the Devil Backbone is. I was like, and I think, I don't know. Because the beginning of that trail is like super flat. Like this, you could at least tell we were going down a big hill. That is just like wicked flat for a really long time until you get to the gorge where you go down a million steps. So she was really like, oh. The nerve. So, you know, I was all like, bah, 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 bah. And then luckily later she did apologize for her initial impression of the trail because it was about a third of the way through where she was all like, and it was fun because it was super muddy. Like once you kind of got down a little bit, I mean actually the whole thing was pretty muddy, but it was like wicked muddy once you got down in the gully is like too dramatic a word, but you know when you got down kind of in the valley between these two hills and you had to walk around along not necessarily a stream bed, but you were adjacent to a stream bed that had clearly been out of its banks. then banks is also a strong word. It's just like a very small stream. But it obviously, like, it was very muddy. Like, sloggy, like, death, like, Atreyu muddy. It's not good. Well, it was fine, though. But also, I have the 2 dogs, and I know, we're bad dog owners. They totally pull on the lead. Touch me. Fine. They're tiny. But I know I need to die. It's just, okay. So, I have them, because I have the largest countermast. Also, sometimes I enjoy them pulling me up the hill. It's just a little help, but it's help. Just saying. So, so I'm holding the dogs, and they are like, and you have to be careful. You can't like pick your way through anything because they're on a coupler, so they're on like a split lead, and so while one of them is pretty good about not getting tangled up, Olive. Totally isn't like she could care less. She's just like woohoo and just running through things. So I can't like go up on the edges of the trails because Olive will just it'll be a nightmare. So I just have to like I just barrel through the middle of it. And at one point I almost like I went to lift my foot and my shoe didn't come with me and I was like no, damn it. There's my wet soggy foot for the rest of this trail. But it was fun. And in the challenging of the like trying to pick your way through things and the uphill and down dale made the kid okay with it. I think she was thinking it was going to be a more technical trail. But again, the other one is not technical at all. It's like technical for like 3 seconds all the way at the far end of it. Then you come back. Anyway, you don't care. I'm sorry. But so it's fairly challenging in terms of course, it's listed as moderate because the Park Service just likes to step on my ego all day long. I'm like, I need a minute for this moderate trail. This was a very steep incline on this moderate trail. Making me feel bad about myself, Park Service. That's okay. I should. So, but the reason I want to do this trail is because it's a Civilian Conservation Corps trail. And so it has a lot of the old stone bridges. And so those are always fun. They're not fancy ones, but they're very serviceable. But it also does like a fire tower. So you can climb up the fire tower and the view. And at one point it totally crossed like this stinking bridle trail. And it merged for not very long at all. But a bridle trail, when it's this muddy, is a nightmare. Let me just discuss. Awful. Like, oh, box of sadness and despair. But luckily we picked our way through. It was fine. Oh, so we get all the way through the trail. And again, it's not a very long trail at all. I mean, it technically is listed as 2 miles, but I don't think that's accurate. I think that's like... From the air, it's 2 miles, but I don't think that counts all the way up and down. Just pretend it doesn't, okay? Make me feel better. But like Fitbit, by the time it was done, Fitbit was like 42 floors or whatever. So I mean, it was up. And I know you Westerners are like, whatever. East Coasters with their mountains and the West Coasters with their mountains. Indiana's super flat, people. We get no elevation change when we're walking usually. Like this much. And it only counts the up. So that's a decent elevation difference. Just saying. Also, I'm super fat. Have you seen me? But so, anyway, the very end of the trail, and I knew we were going to have to go back uphill because when we started the trail, we went downhill. So I knew that there was going to be something to pay at the end. Oh my gosh. There was like, I was talking to my mom on the phone today and I was like, there was like 10 flights of stairs. My husband was like, it was like 5. I was like, you're a liar. 5 like commercial flights of stairs that are technically 2 normal flights of stairs, maybe. There were a bunch of stairs at the end. It was actually really cool though, because part of them were the CCC stairs, like the old stone stairs. But man, it's so scary. I'm like, they gotta do something. Because it's like a retaining, because it's so steep, they need a retaining wall. See, there were little stairs. So there's this retaining wall, and then the stairs. So there's the hill is here, the retaining wall's here, and then the trail is through here, like the steps. But the retaining wall is really like, it really looks like it could topple down like at any minute. Like my kid sat on it while she was waiting for me, which she had to do multiple times. And I was like, don't sit on that. It looks precarious, people. They need a GoFundMe for that nonsense. I will chip in, Brown County Parks. Anyway, it was already so, and it wasn't like that tired. I didn't know how tired I was until I saw 12 million stairs. It's not 12 million. Oh my gosh. But it was very fun. We had a good time. And so then when we were done, I was like, see, do you want to go do another trail? Because, I figured she was like, no. Take that, kid. We drive an hour to do this. She was exhausted. So anyway, that was a fun thing we did. Yay. I won't do like a game review because I do want to try to do a couple of those, but I do a terrible job of them on here. But I'm going to try to do a few more non-standard podcasts. I know, I think I say this too often. Never mind, I'm never going to do anything. But to myself, do something. But so, this week I played, this is another thing I did when I had mom vacation. I played Fields of Green, which is a game from Vangelis Bagiatarchis. He's Greek. It came from Greece. Like, it was a Kickstarter. I'm pretty sure it's, now that I say this, I'm like, is this actually available for sale? So I should not tell you about it if it's not. But, so I did the Kickstarter, but it's also being produced so that you also can play it. Because the Kickstarter was over. I mean, the Kickstarter rewards shipped out right around Essen of last year. Yes, you can buy it in other places. Sorry, I'm just concerned. No, it's not a recipe. That's not the same thing. Oh well, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm never going to stop. Anyway, it's by the same person who designed Among the Stars. Is that right? So it's if you've never played that game or have seen it before, it's a very similar play style. But this one is so much better, in my opinion. But that's because it's a farming theme. Man, you can put a farming thing on Uno and I'd be like, I'm in! Okay, so it's actually available for pre-order on Cool Stuff. So it's coming out, I guess. It looks like it's expecting to release at the end of May, tentatively. So, I guess we did get ours earlier. But there we go. Anyway, it's for 1 to 4, I think. I don't know anything about 2 to 4, not 2. But you can play a solo version if you go on Board Game Geek. You can find solo rules or solo modifications for lots of board games like Dominion and things like that. This guy's name is Gladiator GR, and he has a solo variant, which is pretty much the exact gameplay, except the drafting of the cards is a little bit different. But you don't care about that so much. Well, like 2 of you do, but the rest of you don't. But the reason I like it is you get to totally build up your own little farm, which, again, as I said, I dig. I'm a hobby farmist, if you've not heard me talk about it before. Like, I don't even have a hobby farm. I just hobbily think about having a hobby farm. So you start out with like your silo and your water, I can't even think what it's called. I'm so amazingly lame. Water tower. And then you get to add things to your farm. Like, hey, would you like some cattle? You get some gold if you give them some food to eat. Would you like some horses? Would you like some pigs? Pigs you get, if you give them lots of food, you get 5 gold, and then you get even more gold if you want to give them even more food. It's thematic, yo. You can get some oxen, you can get some goats, you can get sheep, you can get chickens. Chickens, you get to pay up to 3 food, and for each one paid, you get 3 gold. Chickens are gold makers. Rabbits, ducks. So there's like a livestock pile, there's a field pile, and in your field you can grow things like barley. And for the field, you pay water to get food, like to get grain. In the agriculture, you get grain and turn it into food. You get grain and turn it into money. So you see it? It's thematic. But you can grow wheat, or you can grow watermelons, or peppers. What? I'm telling you. So it matters where you place your cards. So if you're placing them, and like all the orthogonal adjacencies mean different things to different cards. And then you get to have improvements. So you get to build like super mega water towers that stretch further. And so the location matters because it has to be close enough to the water tower to be irrigated. You can build a tractor shed so you get extra equipment to store. You can have an apiary. What? You get a fertilizer shed. You get extra hen houses where you get extra points for your poultry. Just saying. It's exciting. And then you can build your own house on there. You can build like helpers quarters, and like you can build a slaughterhouse. It's not for vegans, I don't think, unless you can pretend. Well, you can not pick that card, but you totally have the option to not pick those cards. It would be very hard though. You could have like all horses and oxen though, I guess. You could totally play it as vegan. I think it could happen. So anyway, I played by myself, which is something I've always wanted to do. Oh, excuse me, my nose itches. But I just never make the time to do it. And it was so fun. I'm on vacation. You're amazing. Okay. So anyway, that's Fields of Green. It's super fun. Well, I liked it anyway. So that's what your farm looks like when you're done. Build it up. There's like a harvest phase where you get to harvest all the things from your farm. Just saying. Let's talk about knitting and spinning. Do you wanna? Oh my gosh, let's do it. So I won't show you my bobbin because it's on the wheel still, but I'm spinning this Dragging Heels, which is Rambouillet by Hello Yarn. I say that because it's like all sandy and beachy, but maybe it's also mosses next to the beach. Or maybe it's just this mossy riverbank that I destroyed with my giant sneakers. And I love Rambouillet. I haven't even smelled this yet. It smells really good. Oh, it smells perfectly lightly sheepy. Delicious. So I have 8 ounces of that. I'm just spinning it however I want to. Just however I want. That's what I'm doing. But look at it. Sorry, Annie. It was very light. And so then in knitting, I literally have no finished objects. I know I have not recorded for like 2.5 weeks. No finished objects. That was me bursting your bubble. But whatever. I got some other stuff. What do I have? I don't even know. Okay, that's a sock. You know what that looks like. You don't care. Here's a new sock, though. And it's a half-finished object. What? Right. What is up with this yarn? This is Frenzied Fiber in their Tarhi base. So it's 90% superwash Tarhi, 10% nylon, and it's 460 yards for a skein. And this is the, well, I wrote it down, Pebble Beach colorway. Look at how fun it's striped. Ah! This is a 64 stitch sock. It's for my papa. It's almost his birthday. So, what was I going to say? Oh, he has fairly narrow feet. I think my gauge might be a little bit tighter than like my normal 8 stitches the edge. I think it's more like 8.5 or 9. But it's like cute. And I am so enjoying this yarn. I'm telling you, the Superwash Tari with nylon is my... I know this is crazy talk. I think it's my favorite sock base. I love it. I say, okay, I can't say that because I've actually never worn any. I've just made like 3 pairs of it. But I've actually worn them because I've given them all away, so I guess I should. No, I have worn a pair. Okay, it's my favorite. I forgot. I have 1 pair of Diabolicals that I made myself. It's totally my favorite. But again, this is Friends in Fiber. And I started the second one. Oh, would you like to know what pattern this is? It's not a pattern. I started to do the simple Skype. No, it's not really Skype. It's Skip, S-K-Y-P. But it didn't really show up well enough to be worth the bother. So I just did a 6x2 rib instead. It smells nicely sheepy. Man, I've been smelling stuff lately. What's going on? Maybe I've had allergies. That was so pleasant. Both of those smelling things I just did were just so nice. I need to smell stuff more often. What happened to me? I don't know. I'm thinking like, whew. Oh, I forgot to mention. This is, speaking of smelling things, off all the wall. This is, I did not make this. This was a gift from Joanna Spring of Knit Spin Farm. And this is the Brain Freeze by Susan Ashcroft. The cream color is Joanna's hand spun from her sheepies. And then I believe she said that the colored one is wool pierogi, which I totally believe. Isn't it fun? Here, I'll put a close-up in here. So here is the beautiful up close of the Brain Freeze. And you can see, isn't it great with that cream background color? And then the hand spun on top of it. On all of them. Did I remember to do that? We'll see. But so it's like one of these midi cowls. I don't know, it's not a maxi cowl, it's a midi cowl. But it's just perfect for this time of year when you're like, I'm not ready to stop wearing the woolies. But it does get a little warm. Perfect for that. Okay, back to other stuff. Oh, okay, I'll show you that next. So I also showed you my sweater from last time, which now I don't even remember what it's called. It's by Mary Green, and it's called the Bentley cardigan. That's right. Or is it Marie? I guess it's Marie Green, whatever. Oh, fuck. And I'm knitting it with, this is B. Anderson's Wisconsin Woolen Spun. You can find it on her web. I think you can still find it on her website. Bartlett yarn. It's under the mercantile section, which I forgot to tell you last time. I couldn't find it for a while, but Joanna told me it's under the mercantile section. So this is her small batch woolen spun, 100% American wool. And I really dig it. A lot. Plus it's 450 yards and a 100 gram skein. And it's so, I mean, look at how fat that is. I like fat things. My husband and my kid are skinny. I like them too. I'm not saying I don't like not fat things. I'm just saying I typically like fat things. So here's my sweater so far. Last week I was to the armpits because I was telling you about my new trick for putting a stitch marker to estimate your try-it-onness for your top-down raglanese. And so I'm this far. It's like 6.5 inches, I think. So I did not do any decrease waist shaping, but I am going to do a little increase butt shaping. My butt is marvelous and it needs room to marvel in its marvelousness. So I'm going to add a little bit of butt darts just to, so it doesn't like pull open too much at the hip. But anyway, I've kind of slowed down a little bit, even though that's a lot. I'm sorry, that's a lot for my giantness roundness. It's still a lot. And it's on US 2s, right? Or 3s? US 2s, people. I'm crazy. And there's so much purling involved. But I totally dig it. And I think I'm really going to enjoy this finished object. Because this little stitch pattern kind of has this like fun, I don't know if you can see it. Sorry, my lighting is kind of hard for me to see because I have light coming in this way, which is making it kind of hard for me to see there. But it creates like this almost like lozengey effect. It's fun. So yay that. I'm only on my second skein. And I still have this much, I mean, I still have this, according to the pattern, I needed 5 skeins, but I think I'm definitely not going to need more than 4. I could be wrong though. But I mean, yeah. For 54-inch bust, 46-inch upper breast, this is only 1 1/2 skeins, if that. Maybe it's only 1 1/3. Yay. Anyway, I just like it. It's a good thing. And then, lastly, are you ready for this insanity? This is so insane. I'm knitting the Dotted Rays Speckled Fade by Mr. Stephen West. You cannot see how insanely awesome it is yet because it cannot be contained on these needles. But like, what? You start up here. This is Marigold Gen. And I'll tell you the color he needs in a minute. But the yellow is Marigold Gen. I think it's called like Butterscotch or something. And then you go into the Madeline Tosh Single Ply, which is Filigree, which is this color right here. And then we go into some Post Yarn Swampy color. And then we go into some Dreamin' Color Jilly, which is their single ply, which this is the first time I've used it, and I really like it. It seems like it might be slightly meatier. That might just be my imagination. I mean, if it is, it's just microscopically meatier than the than the Madeline Tosh Merino Light. But like, so so you do, it's short rosy, right? So this is what I have kind of actively on the stitches. What? It's insane. Oh, I could just totally. There we go. This is my woolly ruff. So beautiful. So I kind of, oh, this is so ridiculous. I kind of paused because I have to at this point decide whether I'm going to do just one more solid band or whether I will do this berserker chevron border. And so I was really like, wow, this is a lot of stitches. Whenever you do a chevron border, it gets crazy, right? Because you start doing increases to get those points. So I think right now it's like 500 stitches. I have no idea how many it's going to be even if I do the chevron border, but so I went and looked at other projects. It's all about that chevron border, yo. It looks good. So I'm going to do it. May not be done for 6 years. I don't know. But so, okay, yarn lineup. The Marigold Gen, which the gold was, or the buttery yellow gold, was Spun Honey by Marigold Gen, who is a wonderful dyer and human being. Then the green was Tosh Merino Light and Filigree. I said that. Then the post yarn was Valley in her Yak Luxe, which is 60% superwash merino, 20% yak, 20% silk. It's very shiny. I mean, I know the silk makes it shiny, so I don't know if it's just the silk or if the yak is also shiny, but it's like super shiny. I actually had this moment where I was like, I gotta take this out. It was way too, and then I was like, dude, whatever. Just roll with it. Just let it be shiny, man. And then the Dream in Color Jilly is Secret Garden. So it doesn't take very much of that first color. I have this much left. So that's maybe 25 grams, that it took. Then the Touch Me Light is actually taking quite a bit. I would say there's maybe 20 grams left. Maybe 25. And then the third color, this like kind of swampy color, I actually had to break into a second skein, which I had, luckily, which is one of the reasons I decided to use this color, because I knew I had extra yardage. So it took 1 1/3 skeins for me. But I did not check my my gauge at all. 0 gauge checking. And then my last color, I have only this much left, which is probably 15 grams. I'm just making that up. I don't know. Just say anything with confidence. Yeah, okay. And so then my chevron border. What? The darker color is Tosh Sock in Georgia O'Keeffe. And the lighter color is Tosh Merino Light in Hosta Blue. It's gonna be Berserker, but I'm pretty excited about it still. Yay! It's alright. I know I can't stop showing you. It's ridiculous. I can't help it. Shush. So the speckled fade, or the dotted rays, comes in many iterations, but this is the speckled fade one. I know, right? This color is so fun. And it lends itself really well, like many of the fade shawls, it lends itself really well to variegated yarns. Not just speckles, but also variegated. Did I tell you this already? The trick for me was to go more by, yes, to get like a color change that's not too drastic, but also is more like a value change, because even when I had a color that was almost this, just looked like it was a touch darker than this filigree, I striped it in and I was like, whoa! So it needed to have a brighter tone than the other one did. But anyway, so yay. I know, I can't stop trying to. Okay. So we'll do shameless self-promotion. It's totally shameless and self-promoting. There will be an update in the shop, which is fatsquirrelfibers.bigcartel.com, or you can find it just by Googling Fat Squirrel Fibers. And that will be live Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Yes. But they're a good quantity, so if you're doing something else Friday night, just check in Saturday or Sunday sometime. There's probably going to be something there for you. Okay. I'm really excited about this first one. I don't know what it is about this bag. I might have to keep one for myself. What is up with these bunnies? They're so precious! And then inside is this fun little print. The exterior of this and the next twin are organic cotton, but the linings are not. But I do have to tell you, I love these prints, but this fabric base is very challenging for me to work with in terms of interfacing. I try to be very, very careful with interfacing to make it look as smooth as is possible. I go to pretty... I'm sure sometimes I miss something, but I try to be very careful. I have scrapped many fabrics after, as I've started to put a zipper in or something and realized that there was a crease or a bubble that could not be repaired. So I do try to be very careful with it. But this fabric, no matter how hard I try, never looks quite perfect. So please be aware of that. There is some warpliness. I do my best. And then check this one out. What? There are little terrariums and succulent gardens and watering cans and this amazing bird. What is up with you, Angry Crow? I love you. Okay? Don't be angry. You're on a terrarium. Well, maybe he's angry because he can't get in there to get some seeds. I feel you, man. I feel you, man. And there's a little happy one on top of the little greenhouse. What? I really dig this pattern. But you can see, I don't know if you can pick it up, but there's like a slight crease on this side. And this, it's not 100% perfect, but it's as perfect as I could make it. So just be aware. If that's something that bugs you, steer clear of those. That's a prize. And then these are non-interfaced. These are the heavy cotton twill. So you have a nice springy large wedge, which has that fun happy gold bird on it. What? And maybe also a pink bird on it. Shut up. Maybe you'll have a deer on it. Are you kidding me? Maybe you'll even have a bunny on it. What? Maybe. Could have any one of those things on it. But it might not have all of them. And then it just has a canvas on the bottom. And the only reason I did that, I actually don't like to do that because it's like 2 extra cuts, or actually it's 4 extra cuts per bag. And it's an extra step and an extra ironing step times 2. But with the white, I know sometimes people are hesitant to have a white bag because they're afraid it's going to look grungy on the bottom. So that's why I put the canvas on the bottom of these. Because it was just too cute of a little pattern to pass up. So that's in a large wedge and a sweater size. And then, so that's all that's going to be updated on Friday the 7th of April. And then Friday the 14th, so just 1 week later, there will be a very small update. I had a few spring fabrics. I couldn't get them all into one update, but I wanted to get them out relatively soon because spring is a short one for most of us. So there's this, and these are not sewn samples, I know. But I'm just not there yet. I'm sending out Granny Square bags tomorrow, so. Just madness. Hey. So there's this little super cute with the pink and little, I can't tell if they're Jack and Jill, if they're Hansel and Gretel, if they're just Bill and Jane, or maybe they're George and Jane, or maybe they're George and, I can't think of another man's name, Bill, or maybe they're Jane and Jill. I don't know. But there are these cute folks in the bag, and there's some happy squirrels and bunnies and bears hiding behind trees, and there's some cute mushrooms. So those will be in large wedge, probably in a sweater, and they will also have not a canvas bottom, but a coordinating print bottom. And then these will be sock bags because, they remind me so much of the sad bear in nature. Like, not sad, he was just confused by nature. Do you remember this discussion we had about him? So I couldn't help it. And he looks even more confused because he's all akimbo. He's all akimbo. Right. And look, it's pink and green, which is like quintessentially spring. So it has bears, it has some happy owls, and some foxes, and some birds, and some squirrels, and some flowers. It's got everything, basically. I'm just saying. So those will be sock bags. And they have a pink with Jimmy's lining. Right. It's ridiculous. Just saying. So those will be the updates that are coming up. And then there won't be one for another few weeks. I'm not sure what that one will be yet. It might be Tula Pink, but I can't decide. What? It's true. Maybe it will be. Maybe I can even get the Tula Pink in next week. But I don't know. For the 14th. Oh my gosh, right. Okay, now let's do prizes. So I apologize, I forgot to tell you before shameless self-promotion that you didn't have to stick around if you weren't going to win a prize or be interested in bags. But I should have told you that, and I apologize. But I'll talk to you later. Bye. There's a wall back there. Okay, so now it's time for prizes. Potentially. Where did I put my notebook that has all of the important informations? Where did I put it, guys? Oh, this is so anticlimactic. I should be ashamed of myself. Where did I put it? Really, it's a giant notebook, people. Oh, it's right there, for goodness sakes. donated to the podcast in the first quarter, you might win a prize. So if you hear your name or your description, please email me at amybmays@gmail.com. That's the same place you donated to. Or you can hit me on Ravelry, but I don't check that as often. Okay, are you ready? Now, these people all donated in January, but I promise I did not organize the file by date or anything like that. It just was a coincidence. Okay? If you donated on January 8th and your name is Anna and your Gmail account has your name and a number in it, there was no address, so I can't tell you what state you're in. You want a prize. Is that you? Hi, Anna. Thanks. If your name is Eileen and you live in Ohio, I don't think I should say the city. If your name is Eileen and you live in Ohio and you donated on January 10th, you want a prize. Your email address has COX in it. And then, ironically also, if you donated on January 22nd and your name is Susan, and you also happen to have COX in your email address, and maybe you live in California, okay, well, you should definitely have all those things, then you want a prize. So Anna, Eileen, Susan, yay, thank you! Thank you, everybody. If you would email me at amybmays@gmail.com. I have your human name. If your human name is different, let me know. And then your address. I have 2 of your addresses, but you know, sometimes PayPal gets things wrong. But definitely, Anna, you need to tell me your address. I'll send you a prize. And then, okay, then we'll do the podcaster reward. Award, reward, prize. I don't know. Okay, so now I have to very undramatically look and make sure that the person who won the prize was not a duplicate admission. I was submitting my taxes, not literally at the same time that I was doing this thing, but in the same morning. So let's hope I did my taxes. I don't want to belittle my people here, but I would prefer to have done my taxes correctly. Okay, so let's see if I can find the prize winner and put her name in here. There she is. And I'll try that word because it'll probably tell me if that podcast has been mentioned. Tell me, Ravelry. Tell me all about it. Yes, okay, she's got a unique prize. A unique entry. If you are entry number 169... Are you Kipper Knitter? You want a prize. So Kipper Knitter, she mentioned Creative Musings with Casey and Cherry Heart with Sandra. Thank you for the recommendations. Thank you everybody for the recommendations. But Kipper Knitter, if you will send me, I would love for you to send me an email, amybmays@gmail.com. Amy, A-M-Y, B like boy, M-A-Y-S @gmail.com. Or you can reply to me on Ravelry. I'm the fat squirrel there. You win this. You're the only one who will have one exactly like this. Only you. Send me your address and I'll send it out. Thank you. All right, I think that's all, everybody. Oh my goodness. Really? Ah. Oh, we're not doing too bad. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.